D, a fish hatchery in the area. Proceed slowly. The correct answer is B. When you see this flag, it means that there are divers down, and that means you should stay well away. Many states require 100 feet or more, but divers often stray from their boat. Give wide passage. There's also a blue and white swallow-tailed international flag. If you see one, you should respond in a similar fashion, keeping well away. The vessel is restricted in its ability to maneuver and may have divers in the water. The two most frequent accidents that result in fatalities on the water are capsizing and falling overboard. Would you know what to do if one of your passengers fell overboard? If a person falls overboard, one of your first actions should be to A. Shout man overboard so that your helmsman and all aboard hear you. B. Turn on your running lights to warn others. C. Approach from the direction of the wind and current, come close by and toss the victim a line. Or D. Immediately speed up the boat so the person will not float away too far. The correct answer is A. Although there are many important steps required to help a person who's fallen overboard, the first is to ensure that everyone aboard, especially the skipper, knows the situation. So yell out, "Man overboard," so all can hear. And if possible, a life jacket, ring, or buoyant cushion should be tossed to the victim, even if he's already wearing a life jacket. This will help keep the victim more visible. Someone should be assigned to point at the person in the water and keep them in constant sight. The boat speed should be reduced immediately and the boat turned as quickly as possible to stay as close to the victim as possible. Getting a victim back aboard varies with your boat, the condition of the victim, and the condition of the water. It's important to practice the man overboard procedure before an incident occurs, because a real-life situation is not the time to be learning. Our next question concerns the dangers of carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide, A, can collect within, alongside, or behind a boat in minutes. B, effects can be confused with seasickness or intoxication. C, is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Or D, all of the above. The correct answer is D, all of the above. Not only can carbon monoxide build up inside the cabin, carbon monoxide can build up inside an enclosed cockpit or bridge. Carbon monoxide can also build up underneath a swim platform. The area beneath the swim platform should be avoided by swimmers. Often called the silent killer, carbon monoxide is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. It's often impossible to detect carbon monoxide before it overcomes a victim. Carbon monoxide buildup can be prevented by regularly inspecting your engines and generator exhaust systems, as well as your alcohol stove ventilation. In addition, seals around hatches and portholes should be inspected for leaks. While at rest and underway, it's a good habit to open windows, hatches, or vents to create a draft through the boat so that fumes will exit. And perhaps the best way to prevent the possible hazards of carbon monoxide buildup is to install a carbon monoxide detector with an audible alarm in each cabin of your boat. You may want to consider CO detectors as being a vital part of your safety equipment. The best fire extinguisher for a recreational boat is one that is Coast Guard approved and will put out A, B, and C type fires, B, halon fires, C, A and C type fires, or D, carbon dioxide fires. The correct answer is A. Federal requirements specify a Type B fire extinguisher for recreational boats. However, the best fire extinguisher is an ABC type dry chemical extinguisher that can put out A, fires of ordinary combustible materials like wood or paper, B, fires of flammable liquids such as gasoline, and C fires, which are electrical fires. The dry chemical will blanket the fire and cut off the oxygen that fuels the flames. As well, it performs well in windy conditions. Keep one or more readily accessible, and check them on a regular basis.
Today we'll be discussing boating safety, and this lesson is about how to use visual and other flares. It is important to keep your flares in a dry and safe place. You can easily buy one of these water-safe containers at pretty much any boating store. There are many different types of flares available for the boating public, and there's also different types of visual flares that you can use. For example, this is an Orion gun flare, and key things to remember is that you'll place the gun in safety, then you'll remove the cartridge and place it in the barrel. Once in the barrel, you'll hold it into the direction of the wind at a 45-degree angle in a safe direction and fire. There are other different types of flares, such as this, where you would have to make sure you read the directions in accordance with the flare company. Other key things to remember about flares is making sure that the expiration date has not expired, and if so, it's always a good idea to keep old flares on board but still purchase flares that are not expired. Also, instead of red illumination flares, for daytime distress signals, there are smoke illumination signals, and also a black square over a black circle is another type of distress. You can purchase one of these flags that you can display during the daytime. You just unfold it, and by showing a black square over a black circle is also a distress signal that other search and rescue organizations know about. Key is to place this in a very visible spot where aircraft and other vessels can see. And this lesson is about how to use your marine radio. Key things to remember are that channel 16 is the international hailing and distress frequency. The Coast Guard monitors this channel around the clock. It's important to remember that if you use channel 16 to establish communications with another vessel marina, you switch an answer to a different working frequency. If you are ever in distress, use the words Mayday, 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 and someone from the Coast Guard will get back to you soon.
Mayday, Mayday, Mayday.
As you report your condition, you should remember to use your position, the description of your vessel, the problem that you are having, and how many people are on board.
This training video is brought to you by Leisure Boat Club for your boating safety.